Joe Biden making his latest picks for his cabinet. If you enjoy lots of gas, aside from the one you put in your car, you're going to love these picks. If you really love fossil fuels, I think you're going to love this. And if you're on the opposite side of that spectrum where you do not like fossil fuels and you hate that carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, CO2, all of that and other fuels are being burned into the air and into the atmosphere and destroying the ozone layer, you're absolutely going to love these picks. Funny. If you love your water being polluted and you love that the lead industry, asbestos industry, and others are getting to pollute our water and the area around you, and they get to just spread any kind of chemicals they want and dump them into your area, you're really going to hate these picks. I can't say that you'll love them. You're going to hate them. You're really going to hate them. Article here. Joe Biden set to pick his newest cabinet picks. Sources are indicating that Joe Biden is set to pick people like Heather Zeckel and Cedric Richmond. Heather Zeckel is an executive of the gas company Shenra Energy. And Cedric Richmond is a congressman who reflects the votes, whose votes reflect the biggest wishes of the biggest oil executive companies in the entire globe, especially in the United States. And you think Joe Biden's going to do the Green New Deal, and you think he's going to actually care about climate change. Oh, because he has to. He has to. He's the climate change. Nothing says we're going to do something about climate change like putting the causes of climate change in our cabinet. Oh, boy. More from Jimmy Dore here.
Joe Biden has surrounded himself with people tied to the natural gas industry for his 2020 presidential campaign. His climate advisor, Heather Zeckel, is a board member of gas company Shenra Energy, while one of his fundraisers is co-founder of natural gas company Western LNG. In addition, Biden's super PAC supporting his candidacy has a former gas lobbyist on its board. Joe Biden selected in May to serve as his campaign co-chair Louisiana Democratic Representative Cedric Richmond. Despite representing a low-lying Louisiana district, one of the areas in the U.S. most immediately impacted by climate change, Cedric Richmond has voted reliably in favor of expanding production and exports of natural gas and oil. His voting record is one of the most fossil fuel industry friendly of all Democrats in Congress. And I'm guessing nothing will fundamentally change. In 2015, Richmond was one of the 28 House Democrats to vote in favor of approving construction on the Keystone XL pipeline. That's who Joe Biden's putting in his cabinet. These are the guys Joe Biden is finding.
Interesting. Interesting. I love it. Let's put an oil executive from Shenra Energy. Let's make our super PAC take fossil fuel money. And let's put a congressman who agreed with 28 other House Democrats to approve construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. Let's go ahead and do that. So fuck the Native Americans who live in that area. Oh, I'm sorry. Are there reservations in that area? Are there people in that area? Are people going to die because of that decision? Oh, yeah, they are. Let me be one of the Democrats to vote for that. Oh, hey, my company gets federal funding, oil subsidies from the federal government. And then our company, we vote on the board to take that money, and then we put it to pouring chemicals into your water and creating vehicles and other avenues for it to burn into the air, destroy the ozone layer, and cause unbreathable air, and cause diseases and more death in the country. And that's who Joe Biden's putting in his cabinet. This is the man, Cedric Richmond, who Joe Biden's putting in his cabinet. Because nothing says, yes, I agree with climate change and we need to fix it and we need to get rid of oil and fracking, like putting the people who cause climate change in your cabinet. For any of you who think that Joe Biden is gonna really get us away from renewable or from oil into renewable energy, you need to get your head checked, because Joe Biden ain't doing none of that. This is how corrupt Joe Biden is, because he took their money, because he promised them cabinet space, a spot in their cabinet, in his cabinet. That's what he promised. Kamala Harris said it. They don't want to get away from fracking. That's what they said. Both of them. That they support fracking. Even though it causes earthquakes. Even though it pollutes your water. And your air.
Last year, he voted in favor of legislation from Representative Bill Johnson, a Republican from Ohio, that would undermine the environmental review process for gas pipelines by stating that all pipelines that transport 0.14 billion cubic feet per day or less should be immediately approved.
There you have it. There you have it. Cedric Richmond. One of the men I just mentioned. Or the man I just mentioned, before. Resigned from Congress because, according to Joe Biden, if you voted to cause havoc and health malfunctions and death in your community, well, you belong in Joe Biden's cabinet. Good old Uncle Joe, who votes with oil companies, who would rather you die than stay alive and have children and live a full, fulfilling life. He wants you to have student debt to pay off for the rest of your life. And then he wants to cut your Social Security and your Medicaid and your Medicare. And then Joe Biden wants to keep us in war so that you can send your sons and your daughters. Because he wants to get rich, and his buddies want to get rich off the oil, the lithium, the nylon, and any other natural resource that's in Latin America, such as Central America, or Iraq, or Iran, or Syria, or Libya, or Venezuela. And to top it all off, he wants to put a man who voted to approve a law that basically says, hey, we don't need government inspection of anything that we're doing when we're drilling in the Arctic and drilling all over this country underneath your feet. It could be dangerous. It could be hazardous. It could release materials into the air like methane, but we don't give a fuck. All we want to do is make them rich. Isn't that nice? Isn't it nice how that's the guy that you voted for? People who voted for Joe Biden? Isn't it nice that people say, oh my God, let's just wait. He's not in office yet. Let's just wait because he might do something. What is he going to do? Except put these fucking people in his cabinet that are going to hurt us all. And then you got the House leadership and progressives like AOC and the rest of the squad, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, that are, and Ilhan Omar, that are pushing for endless war and that are pushing to approve people like this and to vote for people like Joe Biden who want to kill us all. And then do nothing about climate change until 10 years after we're gone. You want to know why the Democrats keep losing? Because of this kind of shit. And do you really think, if you think that this, hey, let me put oil executives from company boards Let me take money from super PACs that are funded by fossil fuel executives, and let me put a congressman who voted with 27 other Democrats in the House on a Republican bill, by the way, that would force the construction of pipelines like the Keystone XL pipeline without government intervention, undermining the process. So let you die and let them make more money. That's what they want. This is why Democrats are losing. Because they would rather you die. They'd rather you be stuck with your student loans and pay off medical debt and die because you don't have health care, and die because they sent you to war all for nothing, all for them to get rich as fuck off the natural resources there and to nation build just to cause havoc all over the country and then spread lies about the wars. That's why Democrats are losing, for anyone who wondered. And then you got progressives, so-called, quote, progressives, who say, oh, we're going to go into the Democratic Party and we're going to fight. Oh, yeah, I'm going to fight Nancy Pelosi. And you got fucking AOC calling her mama bear. What the hell's wrong with you? Oh, yeah, a mama bear would absolutely kill you because she's going to let all the fossil fuel companies dump a bunch of materials in your water that'll turn your skin a different color and put it in your air so that it burns through the atmosphere and through the ozone layer and then cause you to cough, damage your lungs. Oh, but it's okay. They got rich. This is who Joe Biden's putting in his cabinet. And if you think that there's going to be a change, Joe Biden even said it. Nothing will fundamentally change. Nothing will fundamentally change. Well, it looks like it, because this was Obama. This is now Joe Biden. And by the way, it was Clinton too. You can't trust the Democrats. You can't trust the Republicans. This is why we need a third party. And I'm leaning more in that direction. Peoplesparty.org. Get these fucking Democrats out. And all these progressives who don't fight these fucking people in leadership, who do nothing but kill us all, and put people who all they want to do is get rich in the fucking cabinets of every administration. We need to get them out, because whenever they say, oh, this is Joe Biden working with Republicans, yeah, believe it. Joe Biden's working with Republicans to kill you and make everybody else in the elite rich. Let's get these motherfuckers out. Let's get them all out. Peoplesparty.org.